right, to fuel recurrent expenditure and that theft you're talking about.
So we are borrowing to steal.
Yes. We are borrowing, as we have always done. We've been borrowing to steal. The money we are paying in debt today is theft. It was theft long time ago. And we keep borrowing to steal. They do not have it in tax revenue. You understand? So we have to cut it at its source. The problem is, too much money is going out to debt.
What's the source?
Odious debt.
Who would?
Fake debt.
Right. We've asked this.
Fake debt. I want you to imagine that without that payment of almost 3 this year, do you think anyone would be complaining about SHA and SHIF?
No.
Remember the figures I just gave you earlier?
Yes.
Of July?
Yes.
County money was not dispersed.
No, it wasn't.
Yes. So you keep defaulting on county money. Did I mention pensions? No. Pensions were not dispersed. And these are all first charge items.
Yes, they are.
They must be removed first. So we do have, Dennis, a problem with money, revenue. Not because we are not collecting enough, but because the expenditure of that revenue is going to a big ticket item called debt. All these others, even if you cumulative take, can you compare to the trillions?
No.
Right. That is the problem. And I want you to understand that this debt is fake. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how many times we need to say it.
As many times as
Really, Dennis, you need to understand it's fake. And that expenditure continues until 2038. So this is the kind of life you want to keep talking about here? You want us to keep living this life? We're coming here and lamenting and lamenting.
So Jimmy,
we've got to reach a stage where we stop, isn't it? We've got to have hope. Correct? We've got to start living in hope. We can't keep lamenting. We've got to start living in hope. And the only way we are going to start living in hope, right, is if we start really addressing the issue and dealing with it. Not talking, actually acting. And acting here is very simple. You cut off that debt and you have a debt payment. You have a very different life for every Kenyan here.
But how different will it be if we still are not dealing with the issue of stealing? Because let's assume this debt does not even exist in the first place. Revenue is still being collected. How do you seal or close these stops?
Okay.
Because there's still money in circulation.
I'll tell you.
Yes.
So how is this revenue being collected? All right? So we have a budget that is passed every year by Parliament. All right? And it talks about how much tax is to be collected, how much debt is to be taken. So this is where you start sealing it. So the budget, if you look at the budget, right? It said that there's going to be a deficit, a shortage of 4.8%, which they calculated as 993 billion shillings that needed to be borrowed this financial year. I think you've heard that figure over and over. And they said that it's a combination of both domestic debt and external debt. Right. Now, as I said, on Friday, the July estimates came out. Estimates of revenue and expenditure from the Treasury, signed by Mr. John Bundy, CS Treasury. So what does it say there? Domestic borrowing, 1.053 trillion. External borrowing, 589 billion. Are we on the same page?
Yes.
What did Parliament pass? 993, both domestic and... But this, a month later, the budget says 1.023 trillion and 585 billion external. You have already increased it by another 600 billion.
So was that deficit figure
No.
one?
How does the Treasury do that if it was not passed by Parliament?
Yes.
You're asking where they are getting all this money to steal? There you go. It's 1 month. I said this last year, they did the same thing. The year before, they've been doing it since 2013. There you go. That is not what the budget passed. It's right before your eyes. And the minister publishes it, a Gazette notice. It's there.
Jimmy.
So why are you asking where do they get the money to steal? So it starts in Parliament. You just stick to the law. What is passed in the budget is what is to be followed. There's no way the Treasury has another budget. It creates on its own. Right? And when you ask this domestic revenue, Dennis the Menace, before you ask your question, where is domestic debt on the expenditure side of the budget? Remember, the law says you can only borrow for development.
Yes.
You will never find 1 penny of domestic debt going towards development. So why are you looking for it elsewhere? Everything is there. It's all in the debt business. That's where the games are. Nowhere else.
So how do you account for this
What do you
when
mean,
it's
how do you account for it?
when it's out? Wait, when it's outside the purview of Parliament approvals? So Treasury sits and makes those decisions.
It's just 1 month. 1 month. They've broken the law. They're advertising their criminality. But you guys don't question it. We say it all the time. Nobody wants to hear. Or people don't understand. I don't know. Parliamentarians, as you know them, they are living their own life. There it is.
So
For
we're
you
on
to
a free,
see.
so we're on a free fall.
Yes.
Jimmy,
It's being done in plain sight.
Jimmy, there has been talk that
It's being done in plain sight.
there has been talk, even as we talk about Treasury and how now the criminality that you talk about. One Okiya Mtata says, for Kenya to be able to move forward and deal with the debt that is there, there is need to delink Treasury from the executive.
I disagree. I disagree. First and foremost, we don't need to change any law here. People just need to follow what is the law. The law is very good. The Constitution is fantastic. Right? Chapter 12 covers all our public finance matters. Okay, we don't need to even change a comma. What we have here is impunity for the last almost 13, 14 years, since 2013. That now any regime coming in will probably have things they have got to do the same to survive. Okay, and this is where Kenyans must start saying no. Right? We are going to actually stop this thing. We are going to cut it. And it's very clear this is our slavery. We are going to stop it. So you remove it as something that